Hey, all right, we're alive. Alrighty then. First thing we got to start off with is our new video. First of all, you should see the poster here. This is our new post. Oh, this is actually the old poster. I got to load the new poster. There's a little minor glitch here which we fixed. But let's
In a
go.
world
Let's share
where
the
only eight
trailer.
kingdoms remain, a battle was forged to decide who would rule them all. ASAP Lena, DaveBrennShow, The Shield Comet, Bolt, Killy Valentine, Eden Ibra, Crybaby Carly, and Hannah Witter, with the commentary from Tiberian 64 in Sudaku's chess. Who will win? Who will shed a tear or two? Watch the Mayhem Chess Tournament starting this May 3rd at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Who will bring home the bacon? Or the ham? Well, you know what I mean. Time to castle. No! Mouse lip!
Sudakus, did you notice? That was a mouse slip. That had to be a mouse slip.
You're right, Tiberian. That was a mouse lip. What a game changer!
All right, guys. So we're going to be doing a live lesson today. Not yet. We're supposed to be doing. So normally, I do a lesson tonight. Yes, I can talk to chat tonight, and I have put my normal process, my normal lessons that I give Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, put them on hold and deferred to give lessons to all those that are scheduled to go. So I've already given a lesson to ASAP Lena, you see here. I've given a lesson to Betim Ibra. I've given 2 lessons to the Chill Comet. I've given 1 lesson to Hannah Witter, and I've given a lesson to Crybaby Carly. So tonight we're doing Dave Brenn's show. That's what I'm supposed to be doing, but I realized last minute that he actually, I believe he's on Central Standard Time or he thinks I am because, Sudakus is on Central Standard Time. So he said, we said, okay, we'll meet at 7:30, fix everything up, be ready to go by 8. And I haven't seen him. And I went back and looked at our messaging. And yeah, an hour ago, he said, I'll see you in 2 hours. Realized, okay, he's on the wrong time zone. Well, at least he thinks I'm on a different time zone. Either case, I expect him to show up in about a half an hour. We'll get the Zoom, we'll take 5 minutes out, we'll set it up, and then we'll go on with the lesson with him. Now, I was going to substitute that. I'm going to still do the lesson. So I was going to substitute it with the lesson I was planning for this week. It's about candidate moves. And I decided to do that because a lot of these players, the better players that I've been talking to, I've had to teach them about candidate moves. They'd never heard of it and they didn't use it. You could see they weren't using it. Hey, thanks, King. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. Um, so I wanted to do candidate moves and discuss candidate moves with you guys. Make sure you know what it was. Give you something to try. So we'll talk about that. Then I figured, we can even have the tournament. You guys could be playing in a tournament. I could set up with Dave Brenn show and we could get started maybe at 45 after the hour. But right now, Lee Chess is down. It's just not functioning. It's totally down. I cannot get into Lee Chess. So if you guys check on Lee Chess every once in a while, let me know when and if it comes back up. I can switch over to Lee Chess. But for now, I am in the mythical realm of chess.com. I say mythical because I don't use it very often. I do the puzzle rush. I've been doing that. I've been trying that just because it's a different kind of puzzle system. And I do play there occasionally. Yes, Ratchet. Everyone seems to be having that problem. I think the site's down for the moment. So anyway, I was going to. I have done some things in chess.com. I've played in it. I play in the Sudoku system. I played in one of his tournaments, but every once in a while he's online. I'll challenge him. So I do have a chess.com account, and I do use it occasionally. All right. I don't know. It is I don't know why it's down, but let me know when if you guys notice it comes back up. In the meantime, I was going to use the analysis, try to use the analysis board in chess.com. I was going to use this in any case for looking at the games of um, Dave Bren because he plays primarily in chess.com. So I thought, okay, I want to review his games in chess.com. I'll move him over to Lee Chess for the practice game. One of you guys could play him, and then I'll analyze his game using this study over there. But as you can tell, that didn't work out exactly right because I told you we have a time system problem. Hola, Flavio. Hola. Mucho gusto. Well, that's nice to meet you, but welcome. Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. Yeah, it could be a maintenance break that, or a break in, yeah. But anyway, here we go. Let's look at an analysis board. Now I need to resize. And this is the one thing I'm not crazy about um, that I found that I really don't like about this animal we call chess.com is that like every time you change anything, any board, even if you just go from game to game, it seems like you need to resize and replay with the board. It's not, it's not standard. It's one of the things that I'm already decided I like better about Lee Chess is the board is always what it is and much easier to manipulate and play with because I can set it up and set it and leave it, set it and forget it. But okay, we'll just have to show our acumen. All right, so let's talk about candidate moves because this happens all the time. And I watch guys play, and the first thing I'm going to tell you is what a candidate move is when you decide, all right, I need three good moves. And let's say right now you say I need three good moves. I can play bishop to here. Right? I can play bishop to here. I like that move. Play knight to here. But you know there's more than three. I can play pawn to here, planning on that. I can even play this move, sacrifice that. I can play this move. I could play this move. I could play this move. You get the point. There's way more than three candidate moves on your first. Well, not on your first move. It might not be. If you're following my rules, you still got more than three candidate moves because you can move either knight first and you can move either center pawn. So you still have four. So the question should be, when do I actually need to do candidate moves? Well, the first thing I'll tell you is while I tell you not to memorize, not to pick an opening and memorize until you have totally sucked into your head and got it really powerful, those opening concepts. Once you have the opening concepts down pat and you feel super comfortable with them, you know you could play with anybody in the opening, then yeah, please feel free to go out and learn an opening and study it. The other night, who was I watching or I was playing? I'm trying to remember, but anyway, they want to play the staff. Oh, it's Betim Ibra, one of our competitors in the tournament, and he liked the Stafford Gambit, but he didn't know it passed like the fourth move, and he was in a main line, and he used up tons of time to find the right move. It's supposed to happen just the opposite, guys. You're supposed to memorize the moves for your opening, so that if you get into your if you get into your favorite opening, by the way, if anybody knows how to flip the board easily in this mode without me having to actually move all the pieces, found it. Okay. So you get into your favorite line and the guy, does things that doesn't take you out of your favorite line. You got to know what you want to do, right? Seriously, this should be like, okay, it's a no-brainer. I know what I want to do. I know how I'm going to play this out. And you go here and you say, okay, and the guy and you've got to know what you're going to do. And he went here, and this next move, right? This next move, um, you know, this is automatic. But Betim spent a lot of time deciding between this move and that move. And he shouldn't have to spend almost any time trying to decide between them because he should have already studied that. And he spent over 2.5 minutes deciding on this move. And the problem is, the reason you study openings right? Because you want to get the traps and the tricks and be able to get you want to get an advantage out of the opening. But there's one definite advantage you should always get out of the opening, regardless of the opening you study. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're playing a gambit, doesn't matter if you're playing a dubious opening, a lucrative opening, a violent opening, a quiet opening. It doesn't matter. The one thing you should get out of the opening as an advantage, not always material, not always an attack. Hence, what you should always get though is time. You should always be able to make your moves faster than your opponent because he or she likely hasn't seen your opening or the variation you're playing in your opening. Okay? So that you should go, I don't know. What do I do? He should be, White should be spending all the time trying to figure out how to resolve this issue, not Black, who's playing this opening for opportunities just like this. So yeah, Ratchet. This is also a common answer. Agreed. I'd have to remember the exact game. I know it ended up in this position. The knight wasn't out, I believe, for sure, but it could have been. But the point is that we get into here. I'm just trying to show you that these were the two questions he was asking. Don't worry about the specific variation. The point I'm trying to make, though, is you know the opening, so you get time. I don't. I was really good when I was playing in tournaments. In fact, I have an expert rating in tournaments when I play when I play in a 10-minute game. And the reason I have an expert rating is because I knew my openings, my opponents didn't. I was way ahead on time. And so when it got to the point when it got to the middle game and I had to come up with three candidate moves and do things that were tough, guess what? I was way ahead on time and time was not a problem for me. Hey, G Dot, I understand that. Oh my gosh. And you're actually at the office, not working from home. Gotcha. All right. So when do you, the idea for you should be, when do I need to come up with my three candidate moves? And three candidate moves means you're trying to find three good moves to choose from. Three good moves. Now, when does that normally happen? Because I'm going to argue that you probably already know your opening. And I'm going to play this one just a little differently. Yes. All right. And I will offer that once you're close or done with development, close to being done with development, or you are done with development, I think then should be a good time for you to start thinking about your three candidate moves. So before then, you're playing the opening, whatever opening it is. Even if you haven't studied an opening, you're used to the rhythm and the moves, and you're reacting, and you know what you want to do. You know, I know I want to develop. I know I want to develop. I know I want to develop. I mean, that should be automatic for me. I got to develop my pieces. I'm sorry. I want to develop my pieces. Getting used to this different tool, and I want to get my pieces. I want to get my queen out later. I want to castle one side or the other. This is all should be pretty quick. Some of our players that are playing in the tournament aren't that familiar with their own openings, so this takes a lot of time away from them. So we want to help them not so much study and memorize an opening. Sorry, King, this is what I'm using for my example. So, but this what we want them to do is understand the opening enough that they could get through this pretty quick. And I'm trying to do this one as not a boring version, if you guys notice. Okay, we'll go here, go here, we'll go here, and we're getting into fun territory already. So let's say we say, well, the pin doesn't really, there's really no pin right now. So let's say he just goes here for argument's sake. We're just going to go with this. I'm going to castle queen side. All right. So now Black says I need to still develop, but maybe I'll launch something earlier. Maybe I'll break in the middle. I don't know. I don't care. Maybe he'll come here and decide that. Well, he won't do that because he'll drop his queen. All right, so he's got to decide what he wants to do. So Black at this time, and we can do it from Black side. So let's just do it from Black side. Black side would say, "Oh, thank you, Ratchet. You can make those boring openings more interesting, more exciting." Um, Thanks, King. Yes, that is true. If everybody plays almost perfect, you'll probably have a draw, which we know none of us play almost perfect. So we have very few draws at our level, period. So let's go back to this. So now Black can look for three candidate moves. So, guys, you can look for three candidate moves. We want to try to identify three good moves for Black And while white's waiting, white can be guessing at what moves black is going to be making and think about what moves he wants to make in return. You don't have to wait till you see the move to come up with your candidate moves. You could be looking and saying, I think black is either going to chase me away. Black might start a pawn storm on the queen side. Black might move his knight over here and to attack my bishop and see if he could trade off my beautiful bishop. Those are things I think he might do. All right, he does this. I don't have to come up with two. Well, I might still want to come up with candidate moves, right? I might want to sacrifice. He takes back. I could take with the queen, or better yet, maybe I take with the bishop. He takes back, and I take with the queen with check. He has to move. I can say check. No, I can't go there, but I can go here and say check, depending on where he went. And then I could bring the knight in and look for mating attempts. Yeah, I like that. And then I got the bishop. Okay, so I might come up even then with some ideas of what I want to do. What candidate moves do I want to do? Okay. Um, so we need to, at some point in the game, slow down enough to find three good moves. And why do you need to come up with three good moves? Because we have a tendency, unfortunately, to either take the first move that looks halfway decent and just run with it, and then not even get close to playing the best move. We miss moves, we miss opportunities, and we miss our opponent's opportunities. So in a 10 plus 5 game, which what our combatants will be playing in, and what most of you probably play 5 plus 5, I'm going to guess, you really don't have time to do three candidate moves for every move. But you might argue that, hey, I've seen IMs do it. IMs that think out loud, once they get through the opening, they're doing it every move. And I'll tell you that, yeah, but you also listen to how fast they think through those candidate moves, right? They see the possibilities so much faster than you do. They see the possibilities and know what the good moves are, and then pick one of those good moves. And half the time, they don't even have to take a lot of time to find the best move because they already know that too. You will get faster at your calculations. You will get fast enough candidate moves quite fast. Sorry to hear that, Ratchet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have this thing about Bullet. It's just not. I mean, it's very entertaining, but I don't find it very beautiful chess. Sometimes you can get it, beautiful chess, but for the most part, I find that Bullet chess is not a pretty sight. It's sloppy chess. Anyway, so let's get back to this. So black needs to find three candidate moves. So he might say, I want to put my knight here, and he has to figure out why. Well, if he takes back, I'm going to take back with the pawn, maybe upset this knight, and then start getting my pawns going. He might decide, you know what, I'm going to go here. That'll keep the knight and the bishop out of this square. Plus, it'll prep me to push this one. I'm going to swing my knight out. The bishop really doesn't have any good squares. I'm thinking I can get this traded off, and I'm good to go. If the knight comes in early, I'm going to push here first, and then that'll disconnect the bishop, and I should be okay. So I'm not worried about the knight coming in. Yeah. So I might come up with those as candidate moves. And then once you figure out your candidate moves, you figure out your best move, you make that move. Pretty simple. You need to think through candidate moves. And you might think you only need it in the middle game, but you don't. You can use it in the opening. You can definitely use it in the end game. Many times, your candidate moves in the end game are wins versus losses. Okay, so you you've got to think about it even in the end game, because in the end game it's more critical that you find a good move, not just the first move sometimes, because you can give up a win and become and has a draw, or you can do it the other way around. Okay. All right. So we need to be able to do that. We need to be able to find the good moves every time. All right. But again, we don't want to get bogged down with finding always the perfect move, but we want to give ourselves the opportunity to find good moves. So there is why we do the candidates. Okay, we're going to use candidate moves to find our way. Okay, I think that's pretty good, right? So let's say we go with this candidate move, and then we have to find our next candidate move. Right? We have to find where we go next. Guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to play the video again. I heard Dave Brennan. logging into my Zoom, so we might be able to get started with his lesson. I'll be right back.
In a world where only 8 kingdoms remain, a battle was forged to decide who would rule them all. ASAP Lena, DaveBrennShow, The Shield Comet, Bolt, Killy Valentine, Eden Ivra, Crybaby Carly, and Hannah Witter, with the commentary from Tiberian 64 in Sudaku's chess. Who will win? Who will shed a tear or two? Watch the Mayhem Chess Tournament starting this May 3rd at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Who will bring home the bacon? Or the ham? Well, you know what I mean. Time to castle. No! Mouse slip!
Sudakus, did you notice? That was a mouse slip. That had to be a mouse slip.
You're right, Tiberian. That was a mouse slip. What a game changer!
All right, guys. This is Dave Brenn. I got to change his name in my layout. Hey, Dave, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. Yeah, I got to change.
I'm sorry about the time confusion. I'm in Central Time here, and we got a little mixed up.
No worries. Yeah, because if you're used to Sudaku doing it with Sudakus, he was on Central Time also, so that probably worked. Why, I understand. I totally understand. I realized it after I looked and said, "Oh no." He said, "I'll see you in 2 hours," and I was like, "That's not the time we want." So yeah, no worries. We got it together. You're here. We'll get your lesson started right away so that we can catch you up. And
No, I'm actually attempting to get you hooked into my stream too right now.
Okay.
So
one thing I will tell you I've learned is if you do the Zoom before you open up your streaming software, it usually works better because Zoom is it's very stingy. It doesn't want to share the cameras. So I find that I have to bring up Zoom first, even though you weren't in the meeting. As long as I brought up brought up the meeting first, and then brought up my Twitch, it worked.
Right.
So if you want to bounce out of your studio and then make sure you're in Zoom and then bring up your studio again, see if that helps as far as getting the picture. Otherwise, you could just go with a still shot, which I don't think I sent you one.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah, I usually try to remember to send you guys a picture, but I don't think I've been able to get you through email yet either. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. It may be too. I think the audio should be coming through. What happens? Can you say something real quick? Let me see what comes in.
Sure. I can say things really fast because I'm from New York and I speak really fast, and we've always done that all the time. Is that fast enough?
That's perfect. Yeah. So I got your audio piped in. I think that'll be good enough.
Yeah, that's up to you. Yeah, you could do a still shot. You could just have my name. I don't care.
All right. I'm just getting. I haven't actually started my stream. I'm putting in the title now. Lesson with Tiberian, and then I'm going to hit play, and then we can go.
Okay. All right. Yes, content. I do. I love doing public speaking, Chris, and a lot of times I start off my public speaking with a really fast diatribe about anything, and in particular about the fact that I was there and the first time I was there. And then I let people know that I'm happy to be there, and then I'll talk about the area and what I do and what I've done in the past, my history, my upbringing, and all that stuff, and where I grew up and everything I can think of. And I tell them all those things as fast as I can, and I tell them that they can hear a lot faster than I can ever speak, so it's no problem. They'll be able to understand. They'll be able to catch up, and it'll keep them from falling asleep. And then I have a little gimmick that I usually do. I look at somebody in the crowd and I say, "Oh my God, I'm sorry I have to do all this, but they already told me that I only have 4 to 5 minutes for my whole presentation, and my presentation is really gigantic. It's really important. I want you to make sure you understand." What? Oh, 45 minutes, not 4 to 5. Okay, guys, I got a lot of time. I'm going to slow down. Thank you. Oh, that's going to be safe. Yes, I did, Chris. I did do one. It was a TEDx, not a true TED Talk. but I use it there. I also do Simon Says, but anyway. Yeah, check out my TED Talk, Chris. Oh, man, he's stalking me. No, he's not. Glad for you to check out my TED Talk. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel to see any of these any of the previous lessons, you'll see that I have other things out there. Cool beans. Dave Brenn, thank you for joining us. You are one of the combatants, as we've already pointed out, in the Mayhem Chess Tournament. And Dave,
That is
why don't
correct.
you tell us a little bit about yourself? How long have you been playing chess? Why did you decide to stream chess? Chess
Yeah,
related stuff.
sure. Chess. What's my chess? My chestery, if you will. My chestery. Whatever. We're making up words. Um, I've been playing chess since. Well, I mean, I learned. I think I learned the way most people learn, which is when you're a kid. Sorry, I'm also eating brownie while we're doing this. We're having fun. This brownie is amazing. This brownie about made me pass out earlier. It's solid chocolate. There's chunks of chocolate inside.
Cool.
Anyway, so yeah, I learned chess. I learned chess when I was a kid. Like, you learn checkers first, and then someone shows you a chessboard, and they show you how the horsey moves.
Yeah,
And that's the
I,
one.
I did.
And that's
I never learned checkers first. But go ahead.
you
I'm
didn't learn
sorry.
checkers?
No,
No.
not first. Not first. I learned checkers and tic tac toe much later, when I wanted to make people, because people didn't want to
Interesting.
learn chess. But go ahead. Go no. But
Interesting.
it's just
Interesting.
different upbringings. Different upbringings.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't even know if I learned checkers or if there was just like, it was in the box of toys and you just mess around with the pieces.
Yes.
But anyways, I was in briefly in chess club in high school where I kind of got a little bit more, experience and some, that I think that's when I learned things like Scholar's Mate and develop your pieces, and that's about all I learned. And then fast forward, how old am I? 20 years, 22 years. I haven't played chess at all this whole time. Since high school, I haven't played chess. Maybe like a handful of times here or there. And then, pandemic hits. About a few months leading up to the pandemic, I was messing around just with the app on my phone. I was like, okay, this should be interesting. But yeah, then the pandemic hit, and boom, I said, you know what? Let's get serious about a thing that I have time to do. And I got serious about it, and pretty much the entirety of my experience and education includes just messing around on the app, chess.com, playing games, playing puzzles, and then watching YouTube. It's all YouTube. You got your Eric Rosens, you got your Gotham Chess, you got your Hanging Pawns, you got your, I don't know, there's a half dozen more probably out there that I watch on the regular. And that's it. And then hanging out here and playing games and chatting with viewers, and you just get better. And that's it. That's my story.
Oh, okay. Chris just pointed out that I have to fix my Nightbot. Oh, he's so good to me. He just helps me out more than I can
Isn't that
say.
the best?
He is awesome. So I got to fix my Nightbot because, yes, Chris, culprit is out. Keely Valentine is in. I'm going to fix that, guys, because you know me. I get upset when because it's going to go off. Well, that one won't actually go off. I have to push it. But I'm going to change it right now as we speak because I'm getting better at being able to change things on the fly, and they're used to me being bad at this. So I'm getting better. I'm going to change that right now, right out of there. Get him out of there. DaveBrennShow stays in, but he comes out. Thank you so much, Chris. I've been using that wrong one for as long as I can think of, and now that is fixed. I really do love the Nightbot, though. It's a great tool. All right. So, Dave, I usually, confession or mi culpa, forgiveness asked, I usually use Chess because I am very
Oh, that's
good
fine.
at using the analysis tool and studies, and we're going to be able to go back and forth. But right now, Chess is down. At least it was down. It was down a half an hour ago. So I also don't have your games in Chess because you don't play in Chess too often, right?
Not really. No.
Okay. So we're here. So Sudakus. So we're going to use your games, if you don't mind, I looked for your games for Rapid, and I see that you have a bunch in here, and it seems like you play a lot of 30-minute.
That as of fairly recently, yes, I was a 15-minute player for a while, and I thought that was long.
Okay.
Uh, and then I started getting better, and then I would say as of maybe the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks, maybe I've been almost exclusively 30 minutes.
All right. So the first tip I will give you as a coach for the tournament is I would play 10 plus 5 because that's what you're playing in the tournament.
Sure.
So you just want to get used to the time span. It'll be on Lichess. So you might even want to just make sure you have a Lichess account and you play
I do,
some
yeah.
10 plus 5 there. The nicety is it won't even mess with your chess.com rating that some people care about. I have to laugh a little bit at both chess.com and Lichess ratings because yeah, so what? I mean, they really don't mean it. You don't win any money. You don't get any titles.
Right.
But there's that pride and bragging rights and competitiveness we all have. So
Sure.
okay, so understand that too. So
Yeah.
we want to look at some games, but I want you to remember that 10 plus 5 is the speed. And I had
Sure.
one of your compatriots already in a lesson, and the comment was, oh, I'm not used to lead chess. That's why I'm not doing well. Well, so don't have that be your reason why you lose in the tournament.
Yeah. No, I'm actually I've played with both of them pretty extensively,
Well, good.
and I jump back and forth, so I'm comfortable either way.
Okay. So this game you played against Lodge 1 KK, and you lost, but he was 18-25
Wait,
and
hold
you were.
on. You say this game? What are you
Mhm.
talking about?
Oh,
Hey,
you can't see because I'm on your list of games. You have
can we share?
700.
Can we share a board?
Yes, we're going to. I think.
Ah,
I think.
oh,
I don't even know how to do that. See, that's
I
where.
did it with Sudakus.
Yeah, but he did an analysis board, right?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
and I want to look at your actual game. So
Okay,
that's a
well, actually,
great
I can
question.
probably just bring up the game. Which one? Which one do you have?
Well, I was going to say that we could look at your logic game, which is so if you go to your games and you limit
Yeah,
it to your 715 rapid games, you
the one
limit
that
it.
was most of the logic.
I want to look at that one because he was a lot higher rated than you.
Yeah,
You actually got a draw with the 1500 on your very last game you played. So that was
I
April.
think he was a provisional 1500 though, so I would
Okay. Because
maybe.
I thought, well, no, because chess.com I thought does their provision at 1200. Lichess's provision is at 1500. I
The
don't
very
know.
last game I played.
The very last rapid game you played on
Oh, that
April
was a
12th.
bullet. Oh yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know
No,
if I
this
would
was
consider.
this was a 30-minute game on April
Oh,
12th,
oh,
but
oh,
that's
oh,
okay.
oh.
The one I want to go with, let's pick and choose your 30-minute game against Safariyama from April 12th. Had 24 moves. Can you find that one?
I'll hunt it down here. Let's see. Wait, can you? Sorry, say the username again. S.
Oh, okay. Chris says that for us to share a game, one of us has to have premium, which you do.
Yeah.
And he says that you can share the board with me because you have premium.
Okay.
So
So
if you haven't friended me, please do, I guess.
yeah, let's see. I feel like maybe I have. It's Siberian, right?
Yep, Tiberian 64 should be. I'm pretty sure I'm Tiberian 64 on here. I'm Tiberian on Lichess because I couldn't get Tiberian 64. Actually,
Hmm.
I already had Tiberian. I couldn't get Tiberian on the other ones.
I don't.
But anyway, I see you. Yep, I see
Yeah,
you
add me
as.
as a friend. Add me as a
Yep,
friend and see what
yeah, I
happens.
think I already do have you as a friend.
Oh
I believe so. I'm
man,
looking.
I think I'm also struggling a bit with the servers, just like super duper slow.
Ooh, fun. Again, I wish my beloved Lichess were up and running. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Yes, but I have you listed as a friend.
Okay.
You already are listed as a friend. So I guess you would have to take your game and go to an analysis board and somehow invite me.
Okay. Let's give that a try. Let's see what happens here. Um,
Chris, that sounds like a plan to me. Way after the tournament because we don't want to detract from the tournament. It's totally not about me and the Gambit monster. It's about these 8 players. So, but yeah, afterwards maybe. Actually, we thought afterwards we might split them up and even do a little sub battle of a like a not a sub battle, but 4 against 4. Maybe we do some hand and brain. A lot of things we could do with these guys after the tournament, but right now we got to focus on that tournament. So I don't know, Sudaku, since you you invited Dave Bren into an analysis board with you. Is there a way to do that? But I want to look at your game when we do it, so I don't want to just have it
Okay, so
blanking.
I found the game.
Okay,
Um.
and you could take it to analysis. I bet
Uh.
he says you need to go to live chess and click the
Yeah.
board for the analysis board.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, and then what, Chris? Is there someplace you can invite or share?
Share. Oh, I see share.
See if you could do. I don't know if it's invite or share. Somebody really likes you, Sudakas. Doggy Go Boom. Doggy Go Boom is definitely a fan. um. So, did you try share and find me, or is there a way to do that?
Share. It just gives me a link. Maybe is that good enough? Control copy. Let's see.
I have no idea.
I'm
He
gonna
has to
pop into
start it
Zoom
with
and
the PGN. You have to start it with the PGN. I don't know what that would mean. I know what
I don't
PGN
know what
means.
that means either.
I know what PGN means. It's the score of the game, but I don't know what he means by start it with the PGN. And yeah, it looks like Leech. Just no fun.
I just sent you a link on the Zoom chat.
Okay, let me go check out the Zoom
That
chat.
might just give you the game. It won't. I don't know if it'll make us share the board.
It's going to mess up my picture for a second. And then I'll close the chat. Get your picture back like it's supposed to be. All right, so yeah, I'm on the board with you. I can see it. So as long as I can see it, I guess I'm okay. So try
Can
to
you see like?
move another piece. I didn't see anything move. I moved. Did you see?
No, I think we're both just looking at a record of the game, but we're not on the same.
That's frustrating. Yeah, I would like to be able to see it. I'd like so we can draw lines and you can see them, right? That would be.
I'm sure. Yeah,
ideal.
I'm sure there's a way. Themes. I'm just looking through all the different.
Add to library, finish versus computer download, reset, new analysis. No.
Flavio in my chat says he has a link with the instructions. Oh, Flavio, right. I have my links turned off. You just have to put some spaces in between the W's and the dots.
Ratchet. Yeah, I know. I'm really depressed that my beloved Lee chess is still down. Well, this lesson is going swimmingly.
Yeah, so far so great.
Well, I will edit my layout so at least the board, whenever we get it fixed, will actually look right because it's off-centered. One of the things I found out I don't like about chess.com is you have to like fix the board every time you change anything.
Yeah. Oh, same. Yeah. I mean, I kind of found that happens with either of them, honestly.
Oh, I'm able to usually lock down my I can lock down the Lee chess and use the same one every time, and I don't have any problems.
Oh wow.
Let's see. So that doesn't help because it says let's try. Okay, I was on the wrong one, so that hard to edit it if you're not on the right. There.
Okay, so I see. I have you are on. Yeah, I have you as my friend here.
I tell you what. Okay,
I'm seeing.
Just for us to make sure that we're pressing on and getting you what you need. My thought is maybe what we do is play a game.
Sure. Although I just accidentally closed my browser. Darn it. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's just play a game. That sounds fine. That sounds great.
So how about you challenge me to an like a 30-minute game, unrated, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Sounds good.
I'll wait till you do that, and I'll be able to hopefully fix the board when you do that because my board is not working. More windows, and I should see some kind of challenge come through eventually, right?
Yes. Just bear with me for a second because I also lost everything over here.
Yeah, like I said, live lessons are fun.
Yeah.
Usually it runs smoothly. I mean, we we were doomed from the beginning when we had the wrong time.
Yeah,
Limit.
had we figured the time out, I think we would have been fine. But
So
as it
Ratchet,
is,
the
we're
practice is going to be 10 and 5, and when he plays one of you guys on chess.com, he will play one of you 10 plus 5. But I'm going to try to give him a lesson. So I want just either I want a correspondence because I just want to walk through moves with him. I don't want to
right.
actually play him a 10 plus 5 game. I'm explaining it to Ratchet because he's like, "What happened to 10 plus 5? What are you guys talking about?"
Yeah.
Anyway, so I still don't see. Oh, you're still trying to
Oh,
find it, right?
I'm still getting my screen fixed up here, but it's coming. It's incoming very soon.
Oh, okay. Ratchet, gotcha.
Incoming.
Ratchet says he knows what I'm talking. He knows.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe if I go to live chess and I can challenge you while you're
No,
trying to get back.
I got it. Here we
Oh, okay.
go. I've just sent it to you now.
There it is. Look at that.
And I
So
am the white pieces. It looks like maybe.
yeah,
Oh no, it hasn't
but you
started
made
yet.
it rated. I don't think you want it
Oh
rated.
oh. Whatever. It's fine. It's just one game.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm not that.
It went away. I've lost it.
Oh shoot!
It popped up. I looked at
Everything
it,
went away.
and it
Can
didn't
you still
stay.
hear me? There we go.
It didn't stay
My
very
computer.
long. If
My
you can-
computer is freaking out.
Okay. You could send it to me again. That'd be great. Oh, there it is. I see it. All right. I think I accepted it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And I think I have it showing. Yes. Okay. Good. It's showing on my screen too. So I'm going to save
Yep.
my changes. I think we're good to go for the time being.
Okay.
And guys, you shouldn't have to worry about the clock because we did 30 minutes. So we're not going to take 30 minutes. I think.
No, I wouldn't think so.
And our game against you will auto abort in 51 seconds for some reason.
Yeah, we have to make the first couple of moves without thinking too much because they're the auto abort.
Gotcha.
But then after that, it's fine.
Okay, that
I think
helps.
we're good now.
Okay, that helps to know. Well, let's do the exchange variation. So I saw you play the French. Do you always play the French?
As black, I play French, and as white, I play London.
Okay, I like you.
Mostly because I like the song. I see London, I see France.
You know, I would never have put those two together. That's a good way to decide on openings. I tried to get one of my students. I tried to play on London against him in a hand and brain with Sudokus because he's from London. But Sudokus didn't get where I was going, so he didn't play the London. He was the hand, I was the brain, so he got to decide ultimately. All right.
Nice.
So this is probably going to be to see if you actually know how to play the opening.
Yeah. So we're already out of my preparation because the exchange I only know that you can exchange.
Okay.
That's all I know. The only thing I know about the exchange is you exchange back.
Gotcha.
And then that's it. That's
okay.
it.
So then now that's a good segue into the way I teach. Just so you know, Dave Brenn. Can I call you Dave?
Good, please.
Okay. So, Dave, one of the things I like to teach is the principles behind the opening so that you don't have to memorize a whole lot to do with the opening. Right. So you just need to make good opening development moves. Yes, it is Ratchet, yeah. But I thought that Ratchet said the exchange is usually boring. By the way, Ratchet is not happy with any opening I've done so far, even when I was giving the lesson earlier on candidate moves. So yes, it can be boring. But again, it's one of those where if you know the opening, your opponent doesn't, you can get an advantage. But in any case, here we go. So if you had your opponent play the exchange variation and you say, well, I'm out of book, fine. You don't need to be. Book doesn't really matter that much. You need to find good developing moves.
Okay.
All right. So, by the way, if I tell you anything that you like, I got that. Just cut me off and say, yep, I know what you're talking about. Let's go on to the next thing because we only have so much time. And I want to make sure I'm giving you new information, not rehashing something Sudokus already gave you or that you already know.
Right. Yeah. The general principles of good opening developing moves, I think I've pretty much got.
Good. Let's see it.
You know, getting the knights out, getting the bishops out. In the French, I would probably go for this, followed by this.
Okay, because that's interesting. I find that interesting.
Well, what I should say is that's what I would have done in the not advanced French. Do you know what I mean? This is the pawn structure I would have set up.
Okay.
Once we get into the advanced,
and you can play it in the advanced. You are playing it in the advanced.
I am. I don't know if it's right, but I'm playing it because it's all I really know.
Okay, so far so good.
probably do this in castle.
So far, it's so good. You are playing development moves.
I will. Let's see here.
We're gonna have to change your nickname for the tournament to the Whistling Pawn or something.
The Whistling Pawn.
The Whistling Caballero.
They call me the Whistling Pawn. Okay, I can push and annoy the bishop, or I can take. I think I'm going to push. And then I will, let's see. I still got to get this bishop out, and I don't have a delightful square for my bishop, which is a little annoying. This is like a lame square. This is also not an option.
Of course, I cannot see anything that you're pointing to, but it's good that you're thinking out loud because I can guess what you're doing.
Sure.
And we definitely want to get you, we definitely want to go over the game afterwards. So hopefully we can figure out how to analyze it together. Right now, I don't see how to do that, as you know.
I'm going to do this. I don't like this. The bishop stacked on top of each other is a position I get to sometimes as white, not so often as black, and I don't really know the best way to deal with it. So,
okay,
I would say I'm currently in waters that I feel moderately uncomfortable in. Let's see here. I might want to connect my rooks.
You might, Rabbit. You might.
I'm getting a little bit nervous about these laser beams, meaning your bishops and queen. Okay. Attacking my bishop. I'm kind of squished in here. I think my analysis of my position right now would be very claustrophobic. The pawns in the center are kind of locked down. My knight doesn't really have any... My knight on f6 doesn't have a whole lot of... Does my knight on c6.
That's interesting, Ratchet. I thought chess.com you could do multiple pre-moves, which Lee Chess you can only do one move at a time, pre-move. He was talking about pre-moves.
Wow, you can do multiple pre-moves. That's interesting.
Yeah, on
this might be an option. Maybe I trade off the light squared bishops. That's kind of.
Were you thinking?
All I can think to kind of open up my position here. Okay. Now, before I jump into that trade, let me make sure I'm not walking into a disaster.
Usually a good idea.
It seems pretty straightforward. Now the bishop is hanging. There you go. Protect the bishop. Now I probably want to bring my rooks into the middle. So maybe something like rook to e8. I should have done I didn't do a blunder check before that move, but I think I'm...
Oh, do you normally do blunder checks?
I try to, as often as I can.
Good. Glad to hear it.
What's that?
Glad to hear it.
Let's see. I have... If I were to sacrifice, or, take the pawn with my knight, you take back, I take with check. Is that getting me somewhere? I don't know. Maybe I just need to improve my position more. Putting my bishop on d6 sounds kind of nice, and then that opens up my rook. And then where does my other rook want to live? At some point, I probably want to push my b pawn and back up my little pawns out there. Get all my pawns on light squares since I traded off my light squared bishop. I believe that is the correct thing to do.
Ratchet, you would make me very happy doing that.
Did Ratchet just suggest?
Yeah, he said, but you don't need to worry about it.
No, okay. I'm going to go ahead with bishop to d6. Just kind of a... Oh! I should have done a blunder check, and I didn't. I didn't do a blunder check.
I'll agree.
Okay, let's see. I mean, ordinarily I would resign right there, but we're not gonna play that game.
So another good, just a tidbit for you: do not resign when you play in the tournament.
Yeah,
because they might stay.
That I know. I know it's like not good form.
No, because they can. You gave me a queen for an oversight. Everyone you are playing is around your rating, and every one of them can also give away their queen
as an oversight.
Right. So never resign, because 2 moves later they might give you back the queen, or they might give you a checkmate. So,
and it has happened. It has happened.
Please do not resign in the tournament.
Yeah. Let's see.
Flavio is correct, by the way, Ratchet. So what I saw, Ratchet, was bishop takes bishop, knight, rook takes bishop, then pawn takes knight, queen takes pawn, and then queen to g2 stops the checks and protects the knight. So I think you'd be down a piece. Anyway, sorry, Dave. I had to.
No, you're good. I'm plotting out possible moves here. That's no good. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. All right, I'm going to do this.
Fair enough.
Okay. So trying to get there.
Somebody could check. Let me know. And yes, Ratchet, I agree. Attacking fun moves are good. Yes. But I also like analyzing to make sure I'm not giving away free pieces, especially not knights. So hopefully after this game, Dave, we can actually somehow analyze it together. That would be a nice thing. That'd be something I'll be hoping for.
I think we can figure something out.
Yeah. I mean, we're smart people. We play chess.
You'd think.
We play chess.
We should be, yeah. All right, let's go here.
Sorry, I had to run away for a second.
Oops. I did another blunder.
Oh, are you doing an Eric Rosen? Oh no, my knight, or oh no, my rook.
I wish I was doing an Eric Rosen. Oh no, my knight.
Okay. Nope. I just gotta watch out. I gotta watch out because people try that stuff. No, I fall for it sometimes.
Let's see. So yeah, I don't really have this. I can get more beef on
I agree with Ratchet. I think Dave's a little bit nervous. Ratchet says that he's watched you play. He's seen your stream, I guess, and he says you normally play better.
I would say I do normally play better. That's probably more than you usually have in a game. Although once I get to this level of like things falling apart,
then it's hard to find.
This is pretty standard for my post collapse.
Yes. I think most players when they get behind, they start. Right. Yeah, you can't take my rook. I know it would have been nice for you.
It would have been tasty.
That would
little
have been
rook right
very tasty, very nice.
there. I feel like we're getting pretty close to me being dead here.
And you still never know. I am not immune to blunders myself.
Oops.
Oh no, my pawn.
Thank you for not taking a free knight.
No, I'm looking at checkmate. I thought that would be better.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, you got to ask yourself, what's better than a free knight?
Yeah.
Checkmate.
I would agree with that.
Here I thought you might put the knight down here, but that's okay. How we can analyze this is the key, right?
Yeah. Well, let me click on analysis.
Yes, Dave Brenn was a good sport. I like it. It always asks that.
Oh, did it at? Yeah, let's see.
It does at the bottom of your screen.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yes, you were a good sport.
Oh, thank you. It says analysis, but I don't have Prime, so I'll let you do
it. Okay, so I am on the analysis board.
Yes, King. He made it rated by accident.
Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't see any option here to invite you. Oh wait, remove friend message, chat, challenge, port more. Yeah, I don't see an option here to invite you, unfortunately.
This is frustrating.
I'm just slightly. Do live chess custom challenge. Let me see. Live chess.
Yes. Like a heartbeat, and it took me to our last. Do you have premium?
Create challenge. Ooh, wait a second. Standard analysis board. Hold on. DaveBrennShow. Hold on. I think we're getting somewhere.
Okay.
And then what? They do it. PGN. Then I can put in the PGN for the game. How do I get the PGN for the game? Oh man, I feel like I'm so close.
Custom challenge. Analysis board type. Let's see. But I still don't see how I would invite you afterwards, but let's see if I can.
Yes, I finally got the pop-up window. Friend to join this.
Okay.
Upgrade to
better. Everything is free, no matter what you do, no matter what you want to use. It's all free.
Yeah.
I miss my life. Why is it down? I'm sorry.
So we can just go. Maybe we just go move by move, and I can tell you what the engine is saying.
Or I don't use engines, if that helps.
Oh, you don't need the engine, yeah, so it's fine.
I like to talk you through it. Let's just walk through it together. How's that?
Great.
All right, we'll try that. So let's start off. The game started with e4, e5. So just to let you know, I also.
Yeah.
So I actually a boring version because I thought it gave you less chances to make, blunders. I can show you those later from the page. No.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So exchange move 3. We just exchanged e takes d5. Moving to the next move. This is I know the opening. In fact, I play that way as black. A lot of this variation is that I also will play f3, which is like normally a bad idea to weaken your wings if you're going to castle there. But I go f3 specifically to keep the knight out of e4. I didn't keep the knight out.
That I know that e5 square is.
Yeah.
I know that it is important generally to stop white from one. Fully understand why.
Yeah, it's you play c5, and so that's nice. You're attacking the center. I decided to protect, and which is going to have isolated queen pawns if you take. If you push the bishop back up into c2, I'm on
Mm-hmm.
e5. Or c6, which I enjoy because you developed a piece. You should see that would help you develop your bishop.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the negative for you would have been that you would have had an isolated queen pawn. It's bad that can. So I
Right.
played knight to e2, which is not the best square for the knight, and I did it solely to allow me to still go f3. Because
Okay.
I wanted to be able to push f3, like here's your knight, and your knight might want to jump into e4. First, I pinned it. Always want to pin it, right? So I'm on move 7, bishop to g5. So do you know about pins?
Yes.
What's an absolute pin?
An absolute pin is one where it would be checkmate if I move the piece, or check rather.
Very good. So in other words, when you pin a piece to the king,
Yeah.
it's called an absolute pin because you cannot legally move the piece. Any
Right.
other piece, even like I'm pinning the knight to your queen, you can legally move the knight. Any other pin you have is not an absolute pin because you are legally able to move.
Right.
So now currently pinning your knight to your queen, you can move the knight.
Yeah.
Although it's 9 out of 10 times, it's not a good idea.
Right.
Okay. All righty then. So then I pinned and you broke the pin, we call this, right? So now the
Mm-hmm.
knight is no longer pinned. Your knight is free to go wherever it wants to. Okay, excellent. Castled. I like king safety. You castle. You obviously like king. And did the magical push of the pawn to keep your knight out of e4 and out
Because
of
that was going to be
g4.
my next. That was going to be my next move.
There you go. So that's why that prophylactic move. Now,
Yeah.
my only thing is I need to figure out how to get my knight on b1 into the game.
Yeah.
That's my slow to develop piece in this variation I'm playing. All right. I had fantasies about taking on anything come to fruition for that.
Yeah.
So you now on move 9, you push c4, which means my bishop now has to go away, and it did. And then you developed your bishop to e6.
That bishop is that bishop is regularly a trouble for me.
In the French?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be because normally you still have a pawn on e6.
Yeah.
So yes, that is normal for French for you to have to deal with that bishop. That is true.
Okay.
So that shows me that you understand getting used to an openings feel and methodology, getting
Yeah.
used to the concepts behind the French. That bishop is hard to develop.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, never move the f pawn.
Yeah.
And my chat is talking about Ben Feingold now. So now
Yep.
this move is because I'm really hoping you're going to push h6, and I want to do what Rat was talking about. I want to sacrifice some material. It's probably extremely dubious to sacrifice it because you have all here on c6. So, but it would have been fun to play with the idea anyway. But you didn't. You developed your queen, and now on move 11, you are fully developed, my friend. I still have a knight to develop. Your rooks are talking, all your pieces developed. I would tell my students that you are winning this game at this moment.
Cool. And
You
the engine is saying basically a tie right now.
okay? Well, yeah, but I like it because I have a knight that is not developed. It doesn't really have a good square to go because the queen's in the way. So I like your position. All right. Then I thought I'll just throw something out there. The probably best move I should do, or the better move I should do, might be like knight to g3. But I thought I'd throw something in the works and just see how you react. And so I went knight to f4. I'm
Yeah.
going to guess the engine won't like that. You have now, I want you to look this over because you have some tactical possibilities.
Okay.
And what you'll see is that you have a discovered attack on the bishop on g5 because it's not protected.
Right.
So you'd have to move the knight someplace that you could attack something of greater value. So you could have plopped it on e5. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
e4.
E4. Yep.
E4. And then my bishop would be hanging and my queen would be under attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't take your bishop because you take my queen. So I would take your knight with either the pawn or the bishop. Well, would be with the pawn. Your bishop would be able to take my bishop, and then I could take your pawn, maybe. Maybe I just push the pawn, and I probably would just push the pawn at this
Hmm.
phase. But now my knight is pinned to my queen. So
Yeah.
that might be that would have ended up a little bit nicer for you. And again, I just wanted to see if you'd find that, because that entails you seeing that you can attack something of greater value. So here's your pop quiz for the day. I promised you a lesson. I'm going to have to make it up to you. We're going to have to do at least an hour-long lesson sometime. We're supposed to do a second lesson anyway. This is our first time together. I
Cool.
owe you at least an hour because of all the problems that we've had. So,
It's all right. It's all good. We're doing good.
but here you go. There's 5 ways they go with an attack. So that knight is attack e6.
Yep.
Try to think of all the things you could do in reaction to an attack. There's 5 of them. So let's see if you can think of them all.
You mean just in general, or in
In
this
general,
specific?
not the specific, but
Right.
in general. Some of the
Okay.
things will apply, of course, right? Because
Right.
there are 5 things you could do. Totally,
Okay.
5
5
things.
things.
Right.
I
But
can move the piece being attacked.
so we call that. Do you like Monty Python?
I love Monty Python.
Run away! Run away! Run away!
Run away! Yes. Sharp,
Okay.
pointy teeth.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Run away. Run
Yes.
away. Well, so yeah, we can be King Robin. Brave King
Yes.
Robin ran away.
Yes.
We can block.
Good. Interpose or block. Put something in between. Okay.
Mhm.
That's 2.
We can remove the attacker.
So take it. Definitely.
Take it.
Take the attacker. I like it. Go ahead. That's 3. You only got 2 to go.
We can increase the danger level. Attack something more valuable.
Very good. Look at you using Rosman terminology.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Attack something of actually equal or greater value.
Equal
Definitely
or
the
greater.
greater value is more effective.
Yeah.
Yes, you can attack something of equal or greater value. Okay. And the last one?
I'm gonna say threaten checkmate.
Attacking something of equal or greater value.
Okay.
But you were close, so one more.
Um,
What would you do if something is under attack? What is the reaction you could do? So the attack something of equal or greater value is basically like ignoring the attack, right?
right.
Okay, so there's something else you could do. One more thing. And this is not a good example. This one
just
does not have
just literally ignore it.
yeah, but no, that wouldn't be it. This one is not a good example because the situation already exists that you would need.
Right. I gave up.
Protect the piece.
Oh, okay. Right.
Especially-
So
So
that if it gets taken, I can take back.
Right. And
Yeah.
Sudaku says I'm the free candy king. And what he means by that is I teach my beginners that the first and most important thing for you to get from being, like in your case, under 1,000, being probably like 1,100 or even 1,200 in chess.com, the most important thing you can do to get your rating up to the, break 1,000 or more is to not give away any free candy.
Yeah.
And to take it when it's offered.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Take what we can, give nothing back. So you want to be able to do that. If you can, free candy is critical for all beginners. Do you know why you lost this game? Do you remember? Do you remember what happened?
Because I gave away a lot of free shit. I gave away a queen. I gave away a rook.
Yep. So I forgot to tell you, Dave. It is not your fault. It is not your fault. I forgot to tell you, so I'll tell you now. One of my tags for my stream is always family friendly.
Ah, gotcha.
I got 8-year-olds that watch and 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds because I teach them as a homeschooler. So
Gotcha.
Okay. So enough said, right? So okay.
Yeah.
So moving on. So at this point, you did have options. So the bishop can run away. It already is. Oh, here's another pop quiz for you. You said there was one thing you gave me, interpose, right? Block the piece.
Yeah.
Okay. So, which piece can you not block if it's
The knight.
attacking you? All right, what's another one?
Piece that you can't block if it's attacking. I guess the pawn.
You're getting good, Dave. One more.
Um,
Never can block.
oh, king.
Yes. Now, other ones like a bishop and a queen and a rook might be too close, and you couldn't block them either if they were right next to you. For
Right.
those pieces, you can never interpose. So, generally, one, if you could remember those 5 things that you would do every time you're attacked, and if you can run through those real quick, it might help you. The other thing is that usually the best, just usually the best option is to take the piece that's attacking you. Usually the worst option, the riskiest option, is to attack something of equal or greater value.
Mm,
But with high risk, it is the riskiest, but it's also the one that gives you the most reward.
right.
You can have some brilliant moves if you can pull that off.
Right.
Okay, so in this case, you're attacking something of greater value, and it would have worked because you would have had some trades and you would have been good to go. Yeah, King, I agree. We're not talking about them yet, but I agree. King was saying there's also such a thing as poisoned pawns, but there's also poisoned pieces. And what they mean by poisoned pawns and pieces is, yes, you could take it, but if you take it, then you lose. You're
It
going to lose.
opens up a whole other line somewhere
Yeah, and
else.
something's going to be bad. And yep. Sometimes the classic poison pawn, you either trap the piece that took it right away, you get to trap it and win, or you get to take a pawn back because you attack that piece, he runs away, and then you kill the pawn all the way on the other side of the board. But,
Right. Yeah, I have a whole when the queen moves to black queen moves to b attack the b2 pawn, that pawn can be kind of poison if you set it up just right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That happens a lot with the b pawn and bishops taking the b pawn. Rook come over, attack the bishop leaves, and you take the other b pawn.
Yeah.
That is very classic. That happens a lot, and it usually because most people king side, so there's no king over there to protect that b pawn.
Right.
All right. So you say because the knight also protects the what? Okay, they having a discussion, which is fine. That's good. All right, so here I had to decide. Right, I toyed with other things. The moves that I liked the most would have been like knight to h3, but then you could just take it with your bishop, and then ruin my pawns, and I didn't want to open up my king. Just figure we'll trade, and then I'll move my knight. Okay, so far so good. I liked your rook move. No problem. Taking there's only one open file. Absolutely one open.
Mm-hmm.
We are totally equal on material, and you're immediately saying I'm going to fight for the. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
All right. I attack. Now I'm being very, very aggressive, right? In fact, the conversation that went on in my chat was, oh yeah, I like knight takes g4. That's what they wanted.
They wanted knight takes g4?
Yeah, they wanted knight takes g4.
I actually considered knight takes g4. That's a blunder according to the computer.
It is. Like I said, I don't look at computers normally. Let me explain that to you guys for a second, you and them, Dave. It's not that I don't like computers. I do use computers for specific things and analysis and for improvement. I like computers. But when I am trying to learn and teach, talking about moves that we as should see and learn to see, computers sometimes are giving you moves that even IMs and GMs wouldn't make.
Yeah.
You can't try, I mean you could, but it would be silly to try to play like a computer. Have you tried to play like a computer? I'd much prefer that we get you to play like a human and that you would play chess that you enjoy.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to look at the moves myself, see what you would do differently, and help you as a player that I think I have more vision than you do at this moment in your development. That's
right.
So, bishop. I saw no chance with the knight that bothered me. Right? You could take pawn on h2, my king would just take, or the queen, but the king would just take back. If you e3, I would just take. If you went to e5, if you went to f6, I would just take you. So your knight didn't have any place to go. So right now your knight's under it.
Yeah.
So you would take back the bishop, upstairs, take your knight, and now your queen check threatening my knight. So you have a double attack. My
Queen could
queen,
take what? Oh,
the queen would take the. You can't see what I'm doing. I said, when I did g5,
yeah.
then play bishop takes. I said that you would go rook takes because your knight on g4 that's under attack doesn't really have any good squares.
Yep.
So rook would take knight, queen would take on check, g4. Queen would take the
Gotcha.
g4 pawn.
Yep.
Now queen to g2.
Oh, say that again.
Now queen.
Oh man. Hold on. We're freezing up here.
Okay. So what will happen though is that the queen is now facing off with the other queen, and it's protecting the knight.
Okay. I think you're back. You said queen to g2.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And so
Okay.
now with queen to g2 facing off with the queen, it's protecting the knight. As far as I can, I mean, there might be things I'm not contemplating
Right.
well enough, but as far as I can see, you end up losing a knight.
Yeah. Another line to consider would be knight takes g4,
Okay.
pawn takes g4, because my
Okay.
queen is under attack.
It is G, right?
Yeah.
Queen takes G, check.
And then bishop. And then you got to move.
What is that? Take it you're looking at the computer.
Yeah, and now it's saying move
Queen to G2, I would hope.
queen to g2. Yeah.
So 2, and then what?
And then I can take the bishop.
With your.
Oh no, that's a blunder.
Yeah, because then the queen takes queen.
I should just take the queen and trade.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a whole line.
But yeah, and you're still down a knight.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so I pushed, and then this is right. This is where you have to say to yourself, okay, what is so besides understanding the 5 things you could do when you're under, you have to always look at the board and see how it changes. And so one of the things Sudapi in his lesson from Marichess is that, in fact, let me give a shout out to do. And we'll give a shout out Marichess. Pawns can't go backwards.
Yeah.
And so on this pawn move that I made, g4, can't go back. So my king is exposed. It'll be that way for a long time. The game is on. You have to find. But you have to say, how did the game change? The one thing is the pawn on f3 is only protected once by the rook. Okay. The knight on h3 is no longer protected at all. Okay, what else changed? Oh, the pawn that was pushed attacking f5 and h5. And lo and behold, I have a queen sitting. Right? So
Yep.
you have to do something about the fact that your queen is under attack.
Yeah.
And I thought at first you had some thoughts about maybe knight takes pawn. And then you.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
And you thought about it, and I said, okay, he sees the pawn as attacking the queen, and he's looking at some nice sacrifices. Okay, but then you came
I don't know. I just got distracted. I was like, oh, maybe I'll move this out here. And yeah, I think I moved my bishop out for some reason. Yeah.
Okay,
Who knows?
fair enough. So we definitely want you to be able to see and think about the fact that my queen has just been attacked. I have to move for my queen.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was teaching before you joined us about candidate moves. I could talk to you about candidate moves, but I think right now we just need you, because I also remember I told you I looked over some of your games in preparation for today.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at them on chess.com. And what I noticed was that you do tend to give away at least one piece of free candy per game when you lose. When you lose. I didn't look at wins. I will assume that when you win, your opponent either gives away more free candy or you gave away none. Okay. So free candy, which is one of my mantras that you got to get out of doing, is that critical. If you can stop from giving away free candy. So give me an idea. Right now we're at move 15. I just played g4. What kind of move would you want to make here? Remembering that your queen is under attack, what would be your move?
Right.
What might you come up with?
I would say probably just retreating my queen.
Okay, so you have, if you look, you have D3 you could go to because it's protected by a pawn. But it's probably not the best square because, I could just take, you take back, and then you have a pawn with no pawns that can protect it. It's deep in my territory, but it's probably going to fall. You're going to lose that
Yeah.
eventually. Okay. You could try the knight takes the pawn sacrifice, but we just went through why that doesn't really work.
Yeah.
You could retreat it to G6, this diagonal, which I don't know if
Yeah.
that's good or bad. And then you also can go to either E6 or D7 or even all the way back to C8.
Okay. I would say any of the moves that push my queen forward, I don't feel great about because I think
Okay.
she's getting overextended.
Good. Good, because we
Um,
don't want our queens to be too far away, right, from
yeah.
our other material because the queen is too valuable. So you'll do very well in the tournament if you respect your queen and not make her go do everything by herself. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
G6 doesn't sound like a good candidate move because it's getting a little closed in.
Okay.
And
There
then
is a
you've got
benefit. Let me just show you
yeah.
something. Because as you notice, I like puns, right? So
Yeah.
have you ever thought like going up to the mountains in Tibet and seeking alignment?
Mm,
Well, it's enlightenment. Yes, it's alignment. So
right.
I want you to seek alignment. On
Yeah.
G6, look at the alignment between your king, queen and my king.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I agree with you. It's not a good move in this situation. Boxed in there. Because, like, I'm going to push F5 and then I'm going to push F4 and then F5 if I can. I got
Yeah.
to
I was
prep
even
it.
thinking if I go to G6, you could go queen F4 and like I don't know what I could do.
Well, I don't know what he's doing there. He's not doing me any good there, though.
I guess probably not. No.
Yeah. No, I
But
think I would either go queen to G2 so that I could push F4
mm-hmm.
so that I'm protecting G4, or I would push my king to H1
Mm-hmm.
so I can move my rook to G1 and make an alignment with your queen and your king.
Yeah.
That would line up my rook, your queen, your king. Or I would just throw my knight on A3 and let you even take it if you want to double up my pawn so that my rook can get a free file because my
Yeah.
knight is still annoying me that it's not developed. But that's my problem,
Right.
not yours. So yeah, okay. So
And then the only other move that is like right out for me is C8 because it
yep,
goes against what I just did, which is connecting my rooks, and
very
that feels
good.
good. So
So
I would say either E6 or D7
all
are
right. So what I'm hearing, which I really like, Dave, is that you actually understand. You have good ideas about where to put your pieces. So the only thing that I think that is happening is that you're missing free candy.
yep.
Because otherwise your moves are solid, right? What your logic you just gave for not keeping your queen out where it can be attacked, excellent. Not putting on C8, excellent. And the only problem is that you're missing the fact that it's free candy. And up to this point,
Mm-hmm.
you had none of those mistakes, and that was your only, that was enough of a mistake that put you on a downward spiral.
Yeah.
So we just need to make sure we give away free candy. Now, Ratchet, who's a 1900 lead chess player, okay, he's pretty good. Was just saying that he also still gives away free candy even at 1900. But he
Wow.
says normally it's after like a 2 or 3 move combination.
Mm,
So his opponent does this, forces that, takes this, and then because he removed the defender or overloaded a piece, then he could take the free candy.
right.
So now he's trying to see it 2 or 3 moves ahead. And for my students, because they're beginners, I don't even tell them to. I don't even worry about teaching them about 2, 3 move combinations, free candy. I don't even count that against them as
Right.
right because they're not going to see 2 or 3 move combinations against them yet. They got to see this. This was a 1 move, and it was with a piece that's right next to you. It's like the pawn can't. It's not like
Yeah.
normally you miss it when it's like, oh, my bishop on H1 attacked your
Yeah.
queen on A8. Wow, you missed that long range attack. But this
Yeah.
is
Bishop blindness is big for me, but
okay.
yeah, this I shouldn't have missed.
Yes. So what I'd like you to start doing, which I know you could do in Lead Chess, I don't know. I think I know you can in chess.com. I can't do it right now,
Yeah.
but I could while I was playing you. Every time your opponent moves, especially because you'll have 10 plus 5, which you have to get used to the speed. I want you to get into the habit of using your right clicker on your mouse. Do you have a Mac or a PC?
PC.
Amen. All right. So when you can right click that mouse and highlight
Arrows?
boxes. No, you don't need arrows. I want you to click boxes.
Yeah.
I want you to click the boxes that are being attacked by the piece that was last moved.
Cool. Okay.
All right. So that pawn move, if you had clicked H5 and F5, you would have said, "Oh, my queen's on one of those squares." If the
Right.
person now, if I moved my bishop from F1 to G2, one diagonal was open, then you would have to click all those diagonal boxes.
Right.
All right, those are of not giving away free candy.
Okay. That's
Okay,
good.
though. Good, good. It gets a little more complicated. Let's say the bishop is already on G2. That diagonal almost open, but I have a pawn on F3. Are you with me? If
No,
you
wait, hold on.
look at the
Bishop on G2?
yeah, think of it. Make believe there's a bishop on G2.
Okay.
Okay, just in your use your you haven't blindfold yet, right? That's
No, no.
okay. I've actually done it 3 or 4 times, across from somebody. Um,
Right.
oh man, very hard, and I had to be playing a very much beginner. Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have had a chance. It's fun, but the idea is that you have to see the board in your head. So, but right now you could even look at the position that we're on. I'll move 15, and just a bishop on G2.
Okay.
All right. Now, there's a pawn on F3, like there is now.
Yeah.
All right. Now, put your queen, the black queen, on A8 and make believe there's nothing else on that diagonal.
Yeah.
All right. When I move the pawn from F3 to F4, for what we just said, you would mark E5 and G5 as squares
Mm-hmm.
that pawn is now attacking. And here's where it gets hard for beginners. You also have to say what else happened when that pawn moved. Oh, that bishop now. Your guy Levy will say that bishop.
Yeah.
All right, so you need to notice that the bishop now,
Yeah.
now that the pawn is moved, I want you to mark every square the bishop hits.
Yeah.
And the way that you would find that is that's how the board has changed. You move chess, the board changes. That's why there's billions of possibilities, right? Because
Right.
every board changes. And what you want to do is identify when you moves, how did the board change? I want you to mark everywhere that's under attack that wasn't under attack before. So if I move a
Got it.
piece, that piece is attacking a new square. But also, if I move that piece and uncover another piece, that other piece that I was blocking now has to also look at all the squares that piece is attacking. Can we do
Very
that?
good. Yep.
All right. I'd like to see you do that. I want to see you do that. Now I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I wish you could watch me do it, but
Yeah, I mean, I can watch your screen. I think I can do it.
we'll do a tech run before we do our next lesson, and we'll make it work.
Either that or Lee Chess will be up.
Yeah. I mean, is it up now? Who knows?
Yeah,
It might be
I
up.
refresh and see if it's
Nope.
up.
It's funny the comm server went down earlier today, and I had to switch to Lichess.
Oh, really? See, and
Yeah.
that's one of those things. I don't bash either one. Some people get serious about one over the other, right? Like,
Yeah.
no, chess.com is better. No, and I think they both have merits. Chess.com, because they're for profit, they put on PogChamps, right? And put on money tournaments, which is
Yeah.
great because then you pull in these grandmasters that so it definitely we need money in chess to promote the game as a sport so that people right. Okay, but I love Lee Chess because their whole thing is to make chess available for everyone, and that's why I give lessons and I don't charge, right? I mean
Yeah.
I could charge, but why? I'd rather I love teaching and I love people getting better. I
I
feel
love
like
that philosophy. Yeah.
I feel like we're on the same.
I mean, it's interesting because I'm coming into this fresh, but like I've spent the last 20 years, but I'm a balloon artist. That's what I do full time. Is I make balloon art at parties, and it's interesting. The communities are very similar. Anytime you get into a niche community, you kind of see similar kind of dynamics and the social structure and things that happen. Same kind of divide where you have some people who are just like obsessed about, just think everything should be free, and and then you have all these debates between the two categories. But I'm very much on the same page as you, where I feel like just from the standpoint of an industry surviving and thriving, you need to continue sharing knowledge. And it's like, I can't. The way I think about it with balloon art is I can't make balloons for every kid in the world. It's not possible. So the only way that I can possibly ensure that more kids get cool balloon art is if I teach more people how to make balloon art. And that's what I do too. I spend a lot of my time teaching balloon art to other people.
Sweet.
It's a great way to go.
I like it. And I also believe in the adage or saying or logic that for you to be successful, the best way to become successful is to help others become successful.
Yep.
So
Yep,
yeah,
I agree.
if I help you become a better chess player, I'll become a better chess player. And I
Yeah.
definitely know that's true for my students as they get up in levels. One of the things I have them do to get better, especially when we do it in real life in person, is I will sit my brand new players with my more advanced players, and I have my advanced players teach my beginners basics. And
Yeah,
so
that's great.
and then guess what? Those basics get so well ingrained into my stronger
Hmm.
players' heads because they are actually teaching it to somebody else. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful thing. It's a
yeah,
beautiful thing. So every time, I spend any time teaching anybody about chess, I know I am getting it better my own self.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
That's great.
Ratchet is definitely drawing a line. um, um, right now,
All
Chess
right.
Wizard Lee Chess is down unless you're getting in. Let me know because
Nope.
Chris actually went and did some homework. They have a message out there, and they said the front end server went from as to when it will be back up. In the meantime, we are working on building a new front end server, and I hope to have Lee Chess running again as soon as, which would be nice.
Wow.
Be nice. All right.
Crazy. Okay.
So you could play a game, and I could probably watch you on stream.
Yeah.
I could play you again, but again, it's
Yeah, maybe I'll just like search for a rated challenge against someone my level and we'll go from
well,
there.
there are a whole bunch of streamers on mine. I mean, viewers, but most of them, and I don't know what your rating would be in Lead Chess. So, guess
On lead
leave.
chess I'm 1560.
Okay. So, anybody out there, 1560 or so, if you want to challenge Dave Bren in,
Somebody I Chris X
yeah,
just
he's
challenged
one of
me.
my.
He's ready to do. I think it might work.
Now, your board is off the chess is interesting that everyone can pick whatever kind of board they like.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of neat. That everybody and like you're playing on the same board as I am. It looks totally different because you picked a different look and feel that you want.
Yeah.
I think that's you feel comfortable with it.
No, I was freaking out because my cat just jumped up and almost knocked me over. All right, here we go. We're playing this game. It's
All right,
happening. Hopefully you can
how
see.
what time did you have it set for?
He sent me a 10-minute game.
Okay, because
Ten
I'm just trying to get it. I got it on my screen and I'm just trying to get it over now.
10-5
Not
is what.
here. Not there. We go.
So London now. I know this a little deeper than French.
I can help you with learning opening, but really I care more than understand the concepts. Like I told you, we have two at least. And I owe you at least. I'm
Thank
able
you.
to watch you now. I have the clock is at the butts, so
Right.
okay. Feel
Okay. So
I will not, of course, any hints.
right.
Never back.
So now one thing you can't see my. This happened. This happens occasionally too. My arrows disappear and I don't know why. So you don't see arrows, but that's fine. I can talk it through.
So mark the square.
I cannot do any marking.
Okay.
Dang.
So we still want you to do it, even if it doesn't. I want you to think about when he moves next, identify all the squares that are changed, that are how the board changed.
Yeah.
What is that? Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so I don't want my opponent to be able to push his e.
Okay.
So
pushed it again. It's a wasted move.
True.
Okay.
True. Eventually.
I said I wasn't going to backseat drive, and I'm.
So I'm gonna do knight to f3.
Is this game rated?
This is rated.
Okay, good. Then I will backseat drive it if it helps with the lesson. Because it's an unrated, not like Chris.
Right.
All right. Now identify what squares it attacks.
Okay, that attacks E4 and G4, and also H6 and C6. Well, it doesn't, but you get the point. And then the ones behind it as well.
And I think you meant D5 and D7.
The knight?
Yeah, that just moved is attacking D5, E4, G4. His knight that just moved. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And now
Doing in the open.
I am playing bishop. Okay, so this is actually where I might take a couple of different lines. So, also my cat meowing like a banshee.
Yep.
So ordinarily my move in the London would be bishop to D3. My queen is open. Nothing to do, but it's too late. But I will just point out that I have played around with some lines that where you move 4. Two of the moves are queen to D4 and then bishop to queen to A4.
Oh, nice.
And
that definitely looks like a Rosen idea.
It's a Rosen thing. The pawn can't take the bishop on A6, then you check by taking the knight, have some attacks up.
Yep.
If the bishop is still on C, it's even better because then you can take the rook, but in this case I can't. But that's not what I did. I played my bishop to D3 and he backed up. So I just continue. Now I can't continue with normal development because my bishop would be hanging. Correct.
Test that.
I shouldn't even test that.
By accident. Yeah.
I may put my
okay. I prefer that you not move it without very good reason. Once you finish developing, all rules are over as far as development, right? Because you're finished developing, you can do whatever you want. To play the knight to E5, I'd rather see you continue with development. You've already noted that knight to E2 loses piece, so maybe for development. That's simple.
Yeah, I have. I would probably just.
I would love it if you would. That would be a good development move. And these first moves that you just spent, these moves, I know you're doing it. Those moves should have taken about 2 minutes total for all of them because they were all development moves, and except for the bishop or his bishop couldn't break the pin, except for those choices, these should have been pretty automatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
When the bishop comes out, I push back
to G6. Yes, agreed.
Yep.
That is opening repertoire. Okay. So what now, Brown Cow?
Now, what I was expecting opponent was E7, not D7, because E7 allows his E pawn.
Okay.
I believe, if I'm but since he didn't do it, I now can move my knight, although I haven't fully developed yet. My knight's still hanging.
It is more important to get your knight developed. Also, he moved his queen to take a castle to either side.
Yeah.
So your pawn, where are your center pawns pointing?
My center pawns are pointing,
Your E and your D pawn, where are they pointing?
My E and, my center pawns. Yeah, they're pointing towards the queen.
That's where you should normally attack.
Queen.
So how about we launch on the queen side, like B4, so that you can actually get that knight out eventually and deter him from going, no, not C4. You could do that too. But I was thinking that one. Keeps the bishop at bay. Just an option. You're trying to get him the castle king side like you are, then you yourself, and your queen can get over there pretty quick, and you're eventually going to be able to get your knight out through A3 because the king is taking it off.
Okay.
But
yeah, C5, my initial thought was to push.
C4 is also playable. Sorry, go ahead.
That's what I was going to say. So that was my initial thought. So in hindsight, what I'm realizing now is if he takes, then that's going to force me to move my bishop a second time.
Because he could just not take and play knight to B4, attacking your bishop again.
Oh, I have to make a move because this is timed. Here we go. Let's do the push.
Okay, let's do it. Like I said, since it's not rated, I'm fine with talking you through some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
If it was rated, I would not say.
So I'm not particularly concerned if he decides to take my knight.
Oh, look at that.
So I'm just my other knight and call it a day.
Yeah, now let you do it. Oh, whoa, why
Uh,
there?
did-
I'm just saying, why not go to e2 since his bishop moved? Now you could have went to e2. It's okay.
oh,
Play on.
yeah, would you like that? I didn't even notice that. Was yeah, and that's actually here for me to say. Um,
How did it change?
I would say, yeah, because I would say probably to the times when I end up blundering something, when I have a super cool and well thought out plan over, I want to do that plan,
Yeah.
and I don't do what I was saying earlier, which is really looking at how the board changes.
Okay.
So okay, so he took my bishop. Uh, I can take back. Uh,
And you're
I,
running out of
I
time,
would
so.
I would take back with my f pawn
Good.
because
But, or
it
the,
opens.
make up your
I
mind
think
quick because you're running out of time.
I think the f pawn's better because it opens up my rook, and
Okay. And we could talk
that's
about why that's
sure.
that's not bad.
Now I can.
And I'm not going to help you anymore because I slow you down.
Let's see. I've got knight to g. Opening.
You know what that bishop is attacking?
Oh, I move that. I did not move that at all.
Which is why it's a good to touch piece until you're actually ready to move it.
Yeah. Well, what I keep trying to do is I keep trying to do my arrows and they're not working, and then I accidentally click the other button because I'm like trying to force the arrows to work.
No worries.
All right. So yeah, I'm just gonna
resign even. That was a mouse slip. But yeah, avoid mouse slips. I would say don't even touch the piece.
Yeah.
You want to move it.
I'm trying to. I love you, but I'm trying to work. He's very, very feisty. He wants to go outside, which is understandable. It's gorgeous out.
Oh yes.
Okay, so I would do the knight on A3 is pretty much
You got
stuck.
30 seconds. What was the last move you made?
Oh, my knight is under attack.
Oh.
Let's save my knight. Okay, he pawned forward. It's now attacking these two squares. There's nothing there. Move this knight. This bishop can't go anywhere. Yeah, he's stuck. And that's the end of my time.
No worries. Now, see if you can...
I'm outside, otherwise this is not going to stop.
Yeah, go for it.
Come on, bud.
Good game, Chris. Well done. Time. I know you're a good man, Chris. Thank you.
And we're back.
So can you just rewind where it is? Does it? Let's go back to move one.
Boom. There we go.
I'm still seeing the game as the... All right.
Yeah.
So let's go through the moves real quick, and then I'll because this was definitely in an hour and a half. But go ahead, move on to London.
All right.
So since you know the London again, I would expect the first 7-8 moves you shouldn't use even 2 minutes unless they be unexpected.
That's usually the case. Yeah.
All right, go ahead and whip through them then, because this is pretty straightforward for you, right?
I would say up to this point is where, well,
so that other line that you were talking about with the bishop instead of to d3, you can also, so back it up a couple just so we can. I hear your tap via Zoom showing on the screen because of the delay. This is cool.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, your bishop can go to b5, your queen can go to d4, or your bishop can go to d3. You have at that point 3 candidate moves to choose from. Right? I like that one. That's a natural move. And by the way, if you go there, go ahead and go there just for educational purposes. go to bishop to B5 for me. And then, if they did A6, you can do queen to A4. They can't take your bishop because you would take. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Not yet.
Yeah.
That's only if the bishop is there. But yeah,
No,
I know
or
that crap.
okay, or if the queen wasn't on the back rank.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, and the queen move is interesting from Eric Rosen, threatening to go.
Yeah, he would do like
A7.
this. I think it forces this. No, wait a second. I don't know. I'm not sure actually what black was doing.
Either.
I mean, let's just move. But then is if this, see, because he moved his like, I think actually queen here is the best move. It stops that. Now I can't take with my queen.
Yep.
Because.
Yep. Okay. Alrighty. So then you did the bishop to. So let's go back, and I'm gonna have to quit in about 5 minutes. All right. So
Okay.
nope. Back up some more. Yep.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh no! I think it created a new line. Did it?
Oh, and it doesn't let you do.
Oh, really?
Okay. So here's an interesting thing. Okay. Stop. Yeah. Move bishop to D3. No. Move bishop to D3. Go back your queen. Okay. Move bishop to D3. So one of the things I do with 8-year-olds, they have to write down all their moves. So they learn how to write down moves. You don't have to do that because. But then they go, okay, we finished our game, teacher. I come over and I say, and I take the score sheets that they wrote it on, and I take it away from them. And I say, play over the game.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
So let's see if you play over the game from here. Do you remember what I did?
Bishop back.
And then what did you do?
Then I did pawn here.
Nope.
No. I did. He castled first.
No, you did.
Okay.
And right.
Then he did this.
I hear waiting this because it's a lag.
Sure. Bishop to D6, bishop to H or to G3. Castle.
Okay. Did he?
I think so.
No.
I
remember you game better than you did.
He
put it back.
Did he do queen D7?
Yes.
And then I did pawn to B4.
Yeah.
And then he did bishop to H5.
Yes.
And then I should have done knight to D2, but instead I did knight to D3.
Yes. You did A3. You did A3, yeah.
A3, yeah.
Yeah.
Then he bishop.
Yes.
Then I back with the pawn.
Which one?
F pawn.
Okay.
Then
you should have taken with the H pawn in this situation.
Why is that?
Because look at your E square. You have a backward E3 pawn. Very weak. So your E4 square is very weak. You can go back to attacking E4.
Got it.
To learn and start lining up on the E4 square.
And now at this point, my opponent did. I think castled at this point.
I've forgotten. I know you ended up dropping your queen the next move because you moved knight to G5 by accident.
Yeah.
Yep. So
and then he took my. Yeah.
All right. So let me help your brain if you can practice that somehow. But it's not. It's nothing I've tried to do with any of the other students yet because it just hasn't been a main thing to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
But cool. Yeah, let's call that a lesson for now. But like I said, a whole hour. But the main thing takeaway for me, for you, the main thing that I really, really, really want you to focus on is identifying how the board changes.
Okay.
And so to that, I want you thinking through. Oh, okay. Now this is attacking here. This is doing this. Okay. I'm going to do these things.
Right.
Oh, well, I've been lead chess for not lack of they're so nice.
This was
Candy is any of the rest of your acumen that you have. I think you'll do very well. But free candy, and the best way to identify all the attacked squares from the piece that moved, because that would be the most horrendous ones to miss, like when the pawn attacked your queen.
right.
But then there's also the discovered attacker. You want to make sure you identify those.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And if Mondays is okay with you, we could do next Monday and
Yeah, sure. That sounds great.
at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So 7
Eastern
o'clock your time.
Absolutely.
7 o'clock your time next Monday. I'll pencil you in.
And also we'll play a
I
couple.
will raid over to you, and you need to make a Nightbot command as the raid command, because
Right.
if I forget,
Yeah.
it would still. All right, guys.
Right.
All right.